So you can take the kind of
Sir, thank you for the warm remarks and introduction. I just prefer to go by a proud U.S. Army soldier and leave it at that. And also a husband, a family man, and a husband of a soldier serving today. And to trace back to some of the history of now Fort Moore, then Fort Benning, my youngest son was serving in the Army now in a hardship assignment in Hawaii. It's my first bad joke of the day. He actually was born in the old Martin Army Hospital, just a few miles from here. It would indeed probably be an understatement to say that I have a tough act to follow after these two videos. I'll apologize also. We have an non-doctrinal word in the Army, flexecute, and at 9:30, I'm going to flexecute and do a VTC with my secretary. But then I have opportunity to come back. Congressman Bishop, Congresswoman Rogers, thank you so much for the opportunity to be here today. We last did this in another room in 2019, pre-COVID, so good, happy to be here today as well. And then back to what was Fort Benning, now Fort Moore, having started my career here, and also had the pleasure of serving in the capacity of General Buzzard and General Donahoe as well, many years ago. A special call out to Colonel Retired Puckett, one of our Medal of Honor winners, sir. Thank you for representing all of that our day on it. Hey, team, I will not repeat all the great programs mentioned by the congressman, congresswoman, and the secretary and Vice President Dr. Biden as well. But I will say I'm honored to represent the United States Army senior leadership, both military, uniformed, and civilian. And I can attest to their commitment to doing all we can do for military families. And I say military families because I know it's just more than those serving in the U.S. Army. Some of their uniforms today represent that as well. And many of us serve on a joint basis. But as the Secretary said, genuinely committed to what we can do for military families. And as she's mentioned, we work hard to enlist and retain and train our soldiers and do the same level of care for the 248,000 civilian professionals that support our United States Army military as well. United States Army in this case, but our military as well, but also work hard to retain the families. And some of the initiatives were mentioned. And I can say we know we need the support of Congress, but we more importantly need the support of our leaders. And I am indeed happy to represent that today. But I can also say what we learned from you out of the work that you put in these working groups this afternoon and articulate that back up through your leaders, through your commanders, through the spouses. The Army does indeed listen. And I know the military does indeed listen, as Congressman Bishop and Congressman Rogers mentioned as well. So as we work through these working groups today, and I'm going to come back and listen also, please do share. Good is okay, things that we need to sustain, but also some areas that we can improve, whether it's housing, whether it's employment, reimbursement for fees, child care, all of which have been invested in and will continue to be invested in. So I can attest for you that our senior leadership in the Army, and I know the other services as well, as represented by Sergeant Major Bass, do want to hear from you. The working groups represented today, bring forth those ideas, bring forth those suggestions, bring forth your concerns, and also share things that we can continue to invest in and sustain. And I know the Army staff and all the other services as well will work hard to want to secure the funding, but more importantly, just show that love and care that is needed to retain our military families. And I say that as a senior leader, been doing this for over 3.5 decades, but also as a dad of a soldier and a devoted husband, as Congressman Bishop mentioned as well. So I will also add that my wife did tell me to be brief, so I'm going to do just that. And you are the main effort today. I'm very serious about that. So take notes, bring up those concerns, bring up those sustains. And I can assure you that in the Army staff, they'll get back to our senior leadership, and they'll be acted on. I'm sure the other services will get the same representation. So looking forward to joining you throughout the working groups later today. Congressman Bishop, Congressman Rogers, thank you so much for the opportunity. God bless you all, and it's good to be back at Fort Moore. I thank you.